Hi, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. Got the flu yet? Well, if you don't, you're one of the few who don't. We're pretty much everybody down around here is down for the count, and people are dropping like flies all over the place. So I wanted to tell you a little something, pass on something that a doctor told me years ago about Sambucas nigra. Some of you may. Oh, I want to interject in here also. I just put a video up on Patreon. It's a Patreon video only. It's about carrying multiple guns, carrying more than one gun, why I carry more than one gun rather than reloads, and some lessons from my undercover days. I think tomorrow or the next day I'll probably put up another one about why I carry my primary gun cross draw. So if any of you are interested in that, it's over there on Patreon. I'll put the link down below here, below the links to my books and stuff on this one in case you're interested. Anyway, back to the flu and and what you can do about it. Um, Quite a few years ago, I ran into a guy I knew, a friend of mine and I were together. We ran into a doctor that we knew, and it was in the middle of flu season, and so of course that's what he was talking about. And he says, "I'll tell you guys what," he said. Uh, don't do one thing. I'll tell you what to do. You'll never have to take a flu shot again. He says he didn't take flu shots, and this is not going to be taking a position on flu shots or not. I will say, however, that most of the medical people I know would not take it if except that many of them are required to by where they work. But that's aside. He says, "I'll tell you how to never have the flu again." He uh, he said he had been doing his residency at Johns Hopkins, and they brought in a guy from Bethesda Naval Hospital who was just about to die of the flu, and they had tried everything in the world, uh, and nothing was working, and they called his family. They said, um, he's got maybe a day left. It looks like, and I've known of people who've died of the flu, so this is not outlandish. He's got maybe a day left to get the family together, bring them in, and he says they had heard. I forget the details of this story, but there was a doctor, a female doctor at Johns Hopkins, who said that she had developed a way that she thought was a successful treatment for the flu once it had reached that point. And so that's why apparently they transferred him over to Johns Hopkins. Anyway, they got him in there, and what she did is she made up a tincture. I love that word. I don't really know what it means. Tincture, I should look that up. Anyway, it's some kind of drink or something, um, a liquid, from Sambucas negra, which is the elderberry. Now, I've mentioned elderberries before, and I've always say elderberry, which is just my slur and my slang, but it's elderberry, and particularly the black elderberry, which the name is Sambucas negra. And he says she made up a tincture of this and gave it to this guy. And I don't know, I don't remember if he told us how they administered it, whether it was a drink, an infusion, I don't know. But anyway, they gave it to this guy. And, and they said the next day he was sitting up in bed eating lunch. He said that the doctor who developed that, it was a female doctor, went on to patent it. And I think if you look up on the website of Sambucol, which is the name under which is one of the names under which it's marketed, I think you can see the story of this woman. Um, and he says he's taken it ever since, and never had a problem since he started taking it. It's a super berry. I won't try to get into the detailed explanation of it on this, uh, but we started taking it, and I don't necessarily take the Sambucol, although we have stuff for the kids for that. Um, but it's under other names too, as Sambucas, and so I started raising it, and we didn't get enough. This is about our third year with the plants. We didn't get enough to have enough to last us through the year, but simply by taking a little bit, a dose every day, uh, it'll keep you healthy. And I mentioned it to my mother, who was in her 90s, and how surprised I was, thinking that I had new information. And she said, "Well, you know what? Back in the old days, um, and this is kind of I don't know if it's just a Southern thing, but it's the Southern people who seem to know about it, and our family was more like that." She said that people used to keep a decanter of elderberry juice on their dining room tables, just all the time. And whenever anybody started feeling a little dodgy, they just went in and they had a glass of that. And so this is one of those things that the old things are new again, and sometimes the old remedies are the best without having to get into all these chemicals and things. So anyway, we now do raise our own elderberries for that purpose. They're pretty good. They don't taste as sweet as a mulberry, but you put them in a drink and fix them up, and it's just great. And if it'll keep you from getting sick and getting the flu, and that's what they say. There's nothing better than that. It's worth it, and more people now are jumping on the bandwagon. When this doctor told me about it, nobody had heard of Sambuca or Sambucas or Elderberry except the old timers, and now I think it's pretty common knowledge. But just to let you know, so go out there, and if you're feeling a little icky today, go out and get you some of that stuff and take it as directed. This is not medical advice, right? So I should just say that I did that, and I'm feeling pretty good. So you all have a good day, and remember to prepare well today, and that just might mean planting some elderberries this next coming year. Um, Prepare well today in order to live well without the flu tomorrow. Bye-bye.